Well, we have undertaken many conservation practices over the years, and some of them are purely economic reasons. When I first came back to the farm in 1996, one of the first things we did was to start implementing no-till. Several of my friends at NC State were doing it up in the Piedmont and kept raving about how well it was for their soil, and so I thought, well, we'll try it here in the coastal plains. Very few people were trying it at that point in time, and so we implemented no-till on our farm then, and that's been a great economic benefit to us, because now we don't have to have the larger tractors with the disc harrows and maintain those really expensive pieces of equipment just to disc our land. And so that's economic and agronomic impact. We're saving the soil, we're not having the erosion problems, and we're just really, our soil is better today because we've been no-tilling than it was before. So there's both an agronomic and an economic impact there. Now, a lot of the conservation practices that we do have other agronomic and economic impacts. Our variable rate applications of fertilizer, where we're making sure our crops get exactly what they need and nothing more than that. And so that's a benefit to us as well. Now, there are also a lot of practices that we do that are purely just conservation practices that we do because it's the right thing to do. We've participated in a CIG grant where we have been studying subsurface drip irrigation. Early results are that we can push the same yields under subsurface drip as we can our center pivots, and yet we're doing it with half the water. So we know what a precious resource the water is. So we're doing something else there as well. But now the main focus of our farm is growing the next generation, and that's our slogan here. I represent 6 generations on our farm, and I have 3 children myself. And I hope that our 3 children have the opportunity, if they so desire, to farm one day. And if they choose to come back to this farm, I hope it's even better then than it is now, because that's not only our duty, but that's the right thing to do. Our focus is to make sure that environmentally we leave things better than we found them, and we're trying to do that. Many of our consumers, they don't know the practices that we do here on the farm, and they don't really understand what it takes to grow the food that they eat. And we have many consumers that don't understand the environmental issues that we do try to make better, and why wouldn't we? I have more at stake than any consumer does, because I have family that lives on this farm. I'm raising my children on this farm, and I'm not going to do anything that would harm them. So I would like, if there was one message that I'd like to give out to our consumers, it's that we as farmers are doing all we can to make sure that they have the most safe and best food supply of anywhere around, and I think we're doing that. We don't always get the message out. We don't always get out of our comfort zone and tell that to our consumers. We do a great job of preaching to the choir, but we need to make sure that our consumers know that environmentally we are doing what we can to make sure that we take care of what it is that we've been given.